All right, friends, this is Unit 1 Enrichment, and you see I have a boat theme for my slide because the ultra super hard problem is going to involve ships. That's right. This is a real life problem that professionals do every day. So let's talk about it. First, I need to talk about shipping containers. A shipping container is what you might see on the back of a semi-trailer. It is 40 feet long, 8 feet wide, 9 feet tall, and if you've ever been to a port, you might see an image like I have here on the left. Thousands upon thousands of containers stacked on top of each other. This is a real world thing. This is how stuff gets around the world. The device you're watching this on was probably made in China and then put on a container and then put on a ship and then sent to the United States. So, this is how stuff gets around the world. Here's the real world problem you're working on for the ultra super hard problem. Here we go. Your goal, you are the manager of a shipping company that needs to move 24,000 containers from Miami to Los Angeles. Now you might be like, 24,000? No way, Mr. D. That's a number no one would ever deal with. Wrong. It's a number people deal with all the time. 24,000 containers. Your goal is to use the least amount of fuel. Time does not matter. You also need to report to your bosses the amount of volume of cargo you moved. So, in order to do this, you're going to need to know a couple things. You need to know about the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal was made in the 1920s, the early 1920s, and they basically went to Panama, the most narrow part of North America, and they cut a series of rivers through Panama so that ships could get from the Atlantic to the Pacific or back without having to go around South America. Here's the thing though, you can see from my picture here, the canal is only so big. If your ship is bigger than that, you cannot go through the Panama Canal. And they do make ships bigger than the Panama Canal. So, if your ship fits, you can go the Panama Canal route. If your ship does not fit, you have to go the Cape Horn route to get from one side of the world to the other. So that's what this is going to be about. You have 3 options to move your 24,000 containers. Number 1, you can take a semi. You can drive them all one at a time. It takes 2 days. The entire journey takes 1.5 tons of fuel per truck. Think about how many trucks you would need. Your second option is to use what's called a Panamax ship. A Panamax ship fits in the Panama Canal. The biggest Panamax ships can take 5,000 containers at a time. So let's look at the important numbers here. This journey is 4,330 miles. A Panamax ship will use 63 tons of fuel per day. They can travel 432 miles in a day. Option 3, you can put all 24,000 containers on one ship. This is called an ultra-large container vessel. Problem is, it doesn't fit through the Panama Canal, so you have to use the Cape Horn route. Doing this, these ships, because they're bigger, take 180 tons of fuel per day, and they have to go around the Panama Canal. So they go 13,000 miles, again traveling 432 miles per day. All right. Those are your 3 options. This is in your slides for you can look at. You need to move all 24,000 containers from Miami to Los Angeles using the least amount of fuel, and then calculate to your bosses the total volume of cargo you moved. Now here's the thing, that might sound like an awful lot of math, but it's just division and multiplication. Okay, multiplication and division, nothing you can't do. You just need to figure out what multiplication and what division to do. And if you want an example of how to explain your math, take out your workbooks, look at page 104 or 105 for an example of something explained.